Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I am Dr. Mindbender, and today we are doing part 2 of our Lego Ace Chemical mock. And before we get started, as usual, thank you to everybody, all the new subscribers. We got a bunch of new subscribers from the BrickFest Live display that we're going to go over in a second. It wasn't really a display, it was more of an event. And thank you to everybody that's, been subscribing and, continuing to watch the channel. Really appreciate it. Really excited to go over what we're going to be doing in this episode. We got a bunch of stuff to change and put in. There's a Lego haul that I want to go over. But first, I really want to talk about my experience at BrickFest Live and just kind of go over some of the stuff that happened there. So BrickFest Live was an amazing experience. I had never done a Lego show before. I'd never displayed any of my stuff in public before, and it was absolutely amazing. I had gone as a patron the year before and, seen all this stuff. This castle was amazing, by the way. This guy's been doing this for a long time. He brings this thing everywhere. But, it was really gratifying. I gotta say that my table was probably the most visited table at the fest. Tons of kids, tons of adults. It was just a really great experience. The best part of it really was having my family there. All of my family came and sat, in my booth and just watched the reception of everybody that came over, and it was really amazing. I'm definitely going to be doing another one. This Titanic was huge, by the way. This thing was awesome. I know that's a Lego set. I am going to be doing more, and I know that I'm going to be doing one later on in May 25th and 26th in Springfield, Massachusetts. But it was just an amazing experience, and having my family there was definitely the capstone of it all. I can't wait to go back. It was not an arduous ordeal at all to move everything down there. I pretty much put everything in my car. I built everything to travel, so everything is modular anyway. It just, required me taking off the minifigures and the accessories and so on and so forth. But, just a really great experience. Met a lot of amazing people and can't wait to do it again. So, yeah, it was absolutely amazing. Truly, magnificent experience. And, cannot wait to go back next year. But without any further ado, let's get started. So what we're going to be doing in this episode is putting in part of this side wall, because this is the end of the building, and then part of the back wall. And then what we're going to be doing is taking away these brace structures here, because I'm going to fit these into the wall so that we have more space here, and it's not so obtrusive and just taking up space. Because as I was looking at this, I'm like, there's not really a lot of room for machinery. I do like the tanks, so let me talk about these tanks really quick. I did find, if you guys remember from the last episode, these were completely gray. They were gray all the way around. You couldn't see through them at all. And then I did find these green curved panels that were part of, I believe, a Lego Friends set. It was a purple set. There were, these curved doors. I believe it was an arcade or some sort of a game center. But I got these things. I was like, this is perfect. And now you can see inside the tanks. And I even put a little articulation on there, a few wheels and some stuff like that, a couple pipes sticking out of there, and even a ladder. But once I take these out, I can even move these a little bit and probably move them over. But there's going to be a wall of machinery, and then here, even though this is the front wall, I was envisioning, a door about right here, and then this would be sort of a maintenance office. Oops, I just hit that with my hand. This would be a maintenance office. So, under here, this structure would be, an office or room. And what I'm probably going to do is if I'm moving these over, I'm probably going to try to put these stairs on this side of that room, so you'd actually be walking on the side of the wall. And then, you know, here, this would probably be the height of the roof of that little maintenance office. And then you're going over, you know, up into the catwalk here. So let's get started. But before we do, let's go over our Lego haul that I got from the Pick a Brick wall at the Lego store at West Farms Mall, West Hartford, Connecticut. It was amazing. So yeah, I mean, BrickFest Live was absolutely amazing. It was a great experience. I cannot wait to go back next year and, you know, do more shows. But it was just absolutely fabulous, an amazing experience. So back to Ace Chemicals, which is why we're all here. So what we're going to do next is we're going to start this wall over here, and then the back wall, which is behind. I don't have this on the turntable, so I can't spin it. But this back wall that goes across, and then this side wall. And then if you remember, we left this part open because we're going to have another plate that's going to attach with pins over there on the Technic pins. Let me see if I can turn this really quick without causing too much. See, we got the Technic pins right there. So we have another plate which is underneath all this stuff. You can see it right there, that we also have to Mills plate and then get that all set up. Sorry for scratching my head if you can hear that. Yeah, so, and what we're going to use for that is I got a bunch of regular light gray bricks, and then I'm gonna see if I can grab this without moving the camera too much and causing too much fuss. And then what I have, huge close up on the stairs, is a ton of dark gray 2x2 masonry bricks. And then what I also have is, let me see if I can do it again without giving you too big of a close up on the stairs, is a ton of these light gray 1x4 masonry bricks. So yeah, that's going to be the build. So we're going to use all three of those, get these things started, and see what we come up with. Okay, so we've got a bit done, and I got this back on the Lazy Susan, so hopefully I can show you what I've done without knocking over too much stuff. So you started the side wall. I am not accomplishing this very well. So we started the side wall, which is this right here. And then we started the back wall. The back wall is just here. And there's going to be a couple of drain pipes I've already started rolling. There's going to be another one back there that's going to lead out. But I was looking at, you know, some pictures of Ace Chemical in DC Comics as it's drawn, and there are windows on the side and also in the front. And addressing the front, let me see if I can do this. There we go. So what I'm envisioning is that the front wall will be removable, and it will just sit here on these jumper plates. And I have one set on this side and one set on that side. And the wall will actually sit along this back row of plate. And then there will be, you know, a wall that will have stanchions, you know, little columns that will come out here, and then about here, and then about here, and then about here. So it'll be about 4 columns that will come out, but the wall will be flat behind it, and I'm gonna have to put a support underneath that with you know, just some plates so that holds together. But I kind of, you know, I like this design so far. Also, what we're going to do is these windows over here on this side are going to lead into the mechanic's office. Like I said, there is going to be a little office in there for, you know, just the people that work at the chemical factory. So that's going to lead into there, and then we're going to try to figure out the staircase, you know, on either on the side of it here, excuse me, which will eliminate these, or eliminate some of them anyway, and then have a what's it called, a platform here. The word escaped me for a second, sorry about that, but there's going to be a platform here, a U-shaped platform, a catwalk that is going to be available to Batman and Joker and Red Hood, so that they will be able to fall into said vat of chemicals that's here below. So let's finish this. I do like the design on these windows so far. I really do. It does look very industrial. And then, but I added this piece, this pipe right here, and I'm thinking that I might actually have to lower that to there because it might interfere with the wall that I'm going to create. But we'll see. But I am thinking that's what I'm going to have to do. So let's get a little bit more of the wall done. Let's see what we can get. Okay, so first design flaw. So we got the wall and everything, and I got this done, and the last video I recorded was kind of late last night, and I went to bed, and while I was sleeping, I had a premonition, and it was the fact that when I put the ceiling on here, it's not going to have anything to hold it if I don't finish this wall. It's basically just two walls. I know I'm going to be putting the other thing there, but I'm figuring that that's going to be its own roof section as well. So it's just going to be structurally unstable. So what I would have to do is take off this back corner, just these few pieces, and then start a wall here that's going to extend here. But we're going to have to put a doorway there so we can get to the other section, which won't be a problem, and it'll actually allow me to add some more machinery on the inside of this wall. But that's what we're going to have to do. So I got to start a wall from here all the way down, take off those pieces, make a little corner, and then we'll be good. So let's do that, and then the next thing we have to do is reposition these tanks. I also thought about that, because what I'm thinking is that since this is going to be obviously the left side, the maintenance office is going to be somewhere over here against this wall, and I want these tanks, number one, turned 90 degrees to the left, so that this is the glass is facing us, and then I want these two side by side over here in the back, so that because this doesn't look visually appealing, you can't really see what's going on. So we're just going to move those side by side in the back. But let's finish up the wall and move those, and let's see how it looks. Okay, so I've moved the tanks to the back wall, as you can see, and I've also added a green panel to each of these, so it extends your vision field of what you can see inside the tank. And then I've set up these stairs over here, and I've put this door over here to kind of simulate where a maintenance office would be. But it's 3 staircases excuse me, to get to a height at which it looks perilous for a Lego to fall. So by comparison, it's 3 of these staircases, and then as you can see with the staircases, I've even had to add 2 plates to each of them to give it the height of these 2 beams, which is the height that it needs to, where the floor needs to approximately start in order to make it look halfway treacherous. So this is going to be a very tall building. Excuse me. So that's number one. The second thing is, now that I'm looking at this, I am thinking that this catwalk here is going to extend back to this corner and then go across. And then there's going to have to be another stairway, I'm assuming, that's going to come down here to get down, because you can't go up without going down. At the same time, you could just keep the one staircase here and just have a maintenance staircase, and I'm going to add a railing to that as well, but a maintenance staircase to go up. There's some machinery over there, or maybe even a hatch to get out, and then, you know, they would come back down. So one staircase is plausible. I'm not really sure how I want to do this, but you know, I am happy with the design so far. I want to get the building basically set up, and then we'll add the machinery inside, and I can always change out pieces as we go along. But you know, it's looking okay. The windows over here, let me see if I can turn this without causing too much of a landslide, because there is stuff everywhere as usual. You know, there's some machinery already, some vents on this side. I'm thinking about adding one more row of brick, and then some more windows so you can even see higher through the catwalk. I am dropping stuff all over the place. So, you know, we're gonna get that done really quick, and then I'm really gonna have to figure out what this maintenance closet situation is going to look like, and then, you know, the exact position of these tanks. I might even have to move them forward by about 4 bricks just to, you know, create some more space on that back wall. Because if you look now, excuse my finger, I think there is about 7 studs worth of width back there, and I don't know if that's going to be enough with all the machinery that we're going to put back there. Because I mean, it doesn't have to come out, you know, extraordinarily far, but we do need enough space for, you know, that machinery to get back there, and then maybe at least 2 to 3 bricks in width, so that theoretically a Lego could walk behind there and do a job. So thank you guys for watching. I'm gonna have a little bit of a play with this thing and see what we can do. And I also have to find some black bricks for these little pieces right there, because that's where the what are they called, the little exit vents will be. Those, you know, these huge drainage vents, that's what I was looking for. Drainage vents, drainage tunnels will be. So there'll be 2 on each side matching the tank. So thank you guys so much for watching. I know it's been a long time since I put out a video. Work has just been absolutely strenuous and insane, but again, I'm going to try to get on a much better schedule, giving you guys a lot more content, and I will see you guys in the next one. Remember, there will be a link in the description to the first episode. Remember to smash that subscribe button. I will see you guys later. Thank you guys for watching. Peace.